We're gonna let people in as they kind of straggle on in. Um, so I'm Elizabeth Choice. Welcome. I'm gonna uh, pass this off to Mr. Mathew Georghiou in just a moment from MediaSpark. He's gonna lead us through a business simulation. This is lots of people coming in. If you want to just shout out or put in the chat where you're coming from, what ages you work with, what led you to be interested in this specific event, we'd love to hear from you. So write it out or shout it out. These Inspiring Minds Youngstown. Hi, Tammy. So again, just where you're coming from, what ages you work with, why you're interested in a business simulation workshop here. Hey, oh, Arkansas. Good. Cool. Already used GoVenture. Nice. Hi, Christy. Excellent. New Jersey, Youngstown. I like this geographic diversity here. Welcome. This is great. New to teaching business. Excellent. All right, I see a lot of middle and high school here. That's great. New Mexico, oh my gosh, everywhere. Excellent. Entrepreneurship. Yep. Create their own business. Love it. It's a good reason. All right, I am gonna please feel free to keep writing, introducing yourself, get a feel of kind of who we have here, who we have to network with. I am gonna pass it over to Mathew Georghiou here, so that he can make the most of our time and show us the great products that he has here. But yeah, any questions that you have, feel free to put in the chat. And then we should have some time at the end for a little question and answer session. So, yep, hand it over to you, Mathew.
Great. Thanks, Elizabeth. Everyone can hear me okay? Thumbs up if you're good. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to be using chat a lot because we're going to be playing a business simulation as we promised. This won't be a big lecture or anything like that. And so I'm going to be looking for direction from you guys in the chat. You're going to be my senior management team giving me advice. One tip I learned today is if the chat text is really small for you, you can actually make it larger if you have the Zoom app installed. This won't work if you're just running it in your browser, but if you have the Zoom app installed, you can click on your icon in the top right corner and then choose accessibility, and you can increase the font size in the chat. It was very helpful for me because the font size was really tiny for me. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here. Let's share that. And if you can see my screen, give me a thumbs up again. You guys are good. You guys are good. Now, for some reason, I've lost my chat window, so I can't see what you guys are saying in chat. So we're going to have to figure that one out here. Let's see here. Oh, come on, chat. Anybody got a tip for me here on where I can get my chat back? See here. This meeting's being recorded. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
it should
okay.
be
I've
down on
got
the
it. Yeah,
bottom. Yeah, you
we
got it.
got it. Yeah, what happened is the menu disappeared when I shared, and it's up in the top of the screen. And you have to roll over there. It's called a peekaboo menu. And that's a good example of maybe poor interface design for non-power users. All right. So my name is Mathew Georghiou. I'm the founder of a company called MediaSpark. It's a company I founded 30 years ago. So I've been doing this for quite some time. And we focus on educational games and simulations. I've designed many programs over the years, from advanced software simulations to board games, card games, blended games. And my inventions are used in thousands of schools around the world. And we're going to play one today. Um, the info you see on screen, that's how you can reach me if you Need to have any questions from me? Happy to hear from you. I'm going to go to the next screen here and I'm going to talk about the learning methodology. So this is the learning methodology that I've applied over that 25 plus years in designing uh, uh, experiential learning. And I describe it as experiential, social, and gamified learning. This is what we're going to do today. So by experiential, I mean learning by doing through games, simulations, virtual role-playing experiences, live role-playing experiences. By social, I mean people learning together, collaboratively, sometimes competitively, or in peer-to-peer or mentoring type relationships. And by gamified, I mean the application of game mechanics to make learning more engaging, more fun, and to do what I describe as authentic assessment of behavior and skill, which is something that typical educational methods can't do. But you can do all of these things with game-based learning. So this is experiential, social, and gamified learning. That's what we're going to experience today. We're going to experience it using a program called GoVenture Entrepreneur. It is a business simulation. It actually has three levels of business built in, a lemonade stand, a kiosk, and then a full business. Each level gets progressively more comprehensive. The full business is super detailed. In fact, it's the most detailed small business simulation I think that's ever been created. But we're not going to play that one because that one takes several hours to play. We're actually going to do the kiosk because the kiosk is nice, moderate, and we can do it in the next 30, 45 minutes and have a comfortable experience with it. The lemonade stand, we could do this with the lemonade stand too, but I think that's a bit too simple for today. So that's why we're going to do the kiosk. And if you are aware of Yippee, you can actually get this program on Yippee. It's 285 points and you can get it for your class. If you're not on Yippee, you can also get it through our website at goventure.net. All right, that's enough talk. Let's play. So remember, the premise here is we're going to run a business simulation, and I'm the CEO of that business. You are my senior management team. So I'm going to look to you for advice in running this business. Now, as your CEO, I may choose to take your advice or not take your advice. And that's part of the experience we're going to have together. So, okay, now I've started it right from the beginning so we can experience the entire thing. So this is going to be a kiosk business. So a kiosk business, think of it like a mobile cart. Now, the first kiosk we're going to launch is actually a fixed location. Eventually, if we were to play this long enough, which we won't do today, it would actually let us run a second kiosk and then a third kiosk, which is a mobile kiosk, like a mobile food truck. But we're just going to have one kiosk to start with. All right. So the first thing we need to do is choose our business type. And there are 7 types of businesses or products that we can sell. You can see them on the screen. Hope that's big enough for you. There's clothing, costume jewelry, electronics, hot dogs, ice cream, popcorn, and tacos. Now, senior management team, please tell me which business we should operate. In the chat, tell me which business you think we should operate. Each business will have different products. Each one will have 3 products, by the way. They're all the same, 3 products. All right, I'm seeing some hot dog, tacos, clothing. Are you guys saying tacos because you like to eat tacos or do you want to sell tacos? Remember, it's not about us, it's about our customer. So what would you like? So I'm seeing clothing, okay. Now clothing is a little bit different than food because you don't have ingredients and the prices tend to be a little higher. Maybe you don't sell as much. So you've got to balance that. Okay, so it looks like we've got a toss up between clothing and tacos. Everybody likes tacos. That is true. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to choose tacos because that's a little bit more challenging because of the ingredients. So let's go ahead and choose tacos. All right, thank you. Thank you for that advice, senior management team. You're not ready for a raise yet, but maybe if you keep up the good work, I can consider that for you. All right, so now we've done that. Now we can look at our founder information. This is us. By the way, the simulation is also going to monitor our health. So if we work too many hours, our health will go down. If we take some time off, our health will improve. We can look at our financing. So it's seed financing. We had personal savings of $8,000. And of that $8,000, that's what we're going to use to start our business. $2,000 are startup services. So that's registering our business and doing all the things that we had to do to get started. So now we're going to choose a name and logo for our business. Give me a name for a taco business. What do you guys think? Give me a good name for a taco business. Put it in the chat there. Okay. Is it just a game or do they get the education as they go? Well, the education is we're actually going to run a business. What better way is there to learn about business than actually running a business? And that's what we're going to do. There are other supplemental resources that will teach things like terminology, concepts, like what does gross profit mean? What does net profit mean? So yes, there are other resources, but the simulation is the main learning. Taco Express, Taco Bout, Taco Bout, delicious. Okay, that one made me giggle. I like that. I like it. It's funny. It is a little unusual because it takes you a minute to kind of figure out how am I going to spell that. Taco Fiesta, Tacos R Us. Okay. Play on Toys R Us. Okay. We got a few little names in there. I'm going to take, let's talk about it because that made me giggle. Let's do that. And people like authenticity and entertainment these days. So that's going to be our name. And I can choose a logo. I've got different choices here. Yeah, I'll choose, let's see here. This one kind of looks taco-like. So let's go ahead and choose that logo. All right, we've got that. Now we're going to choose our location and our kiosk. By the way, there is an option for us to do a one-page business plan here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to skip over that. So let's choose our location. Now we have 5 locations that we can set up our shop in. We have the waterfront location, the shopping center, the downtown, the arena, Main Street. What kind of info do you think would be helpful to know when we're deciding where to set up? What do you think, senior management team? What would be helpful to know? I'm paying you guys good money to give me good feedback here. All right, foot traffic. Yep. Rent, traffic. Very good. Yep. Are there other restaurants nearby? Competitors? Yep. Both competitors, but also, this is the other cool thing you learn about business, is you might see, like, for example, in some places, like a bunch of camera shops might all be in one place because it becomes a destination if you're looking for that type of product. So if you think of a place that has lots of restaurants in one location, you can think of them as competitive, but also it's a great draw for people. Competitors, popular sites to visit. Yeah, like the waterfront, for example, you can see there's a beach there that could attract people. But if they're coming to the beach, maybe they're spending their time swimming and lounging, not necessarily eating. Cost, we need to pay for space. Yeah. The cost will be the same regardless of what we choose, just for, in this case, just to keep it simple. Parking, okay. Now, notice there's a button down here that says Consumer Profiles. Let's open that. So what the simulation here is doing is giving us some insight, exactly what you're asking about. But it's also giving us info on consumer psychographics. A psychographic, by the way, we hear a lot about demographics, and demographics is what people kind of look like in terms of what age they are, what gender, where they live, how much money they make. But psychographics are how people think. And I find psychographics are more important a lot of times than demographics because I want to know how someone thinks, how they make a decision. And that's what we can see here. We can see what type of features does someone prefer. So there's Main Street. People tend to prefer a balance of price and quality and a good business reputation. So Main Street's kind of like the business section of the city. Whereas maybe downtown, let's see, waterfront, they're looking for low price, good quality. So there's different balance of things that people are looking for. And then we also have the customer traffic, which we can see here. For example, this is our time of day. So right around 9 and 10 a.m., we can see the traffic starts to go up. And then it peaks at around lunchtime, drops a little bit, might go back up around dinner. The green one, which is an outlier, that's because that's the arena. So for example, you might have the basketball game, and typically they tend to be in the evening. So you'll get more traffic at that particular time. So I know you can't see this info, but give me a sense of where you think you'd like us to set up. Main Street, shopping center, downtown, waterfront, arena. What do you guys think? And I know you can't see all this data, but just take a gut guess. Arena, okay. Anyone else? Waterfront, Main Street, shopping center. Very good. Shopping center, okay. Waterfront. All right, I think I'm ready to make an executive CEO decision here. I'm going to choose the shopping center. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, now we're going to choose our kiosk. We can do a blue kiosk or a green kiosk. Anybody have a preference, blue or green? There's no real difference, but something to think about. Blue. All right, you acted fast. Blue wins because you were first. And sometimes the early bird gets the worm, right? All right, so now our startup decisions are made. We're selling tacos in the shopping area. We've got our green kiosk. And so now what we have to do is let's take a look at our products. So we have three products. And the kiosk business, all the products, there's all the businesses have three products. When you get into the full business, the next level up, if you run a restaurant, you might have 10 or 15 products. It gets super comprehensive. And if you go down to lemonade stand, it's just lemonade. It's one product. So it gets much simpler. And so we have a taco, we have nachos, and we have a beverage. We can see a description of each of the products. We can see how many we have available, zero, because we don't have any inventory. We can see how many we sold, also zero, because we don't have any, we haven't started yet. We have COGS. Does anybody know what COGS means? COGS. What does COGS mean in business? Anyone know? Senior management team? Cost of goods sold. Very good. Very good. That's exactly it. So every time we sell something, we have to know the cost of it. So typically we would set our price. Do we set our price the same as the cost of goods sold, lower or higher? What do we normally do in business? Higher. What happens if we set our price lower than COGS? What happens if we set our price lower than COGS? We lose money because it costs us more to serve the product than we're collecting from the customer. Exactly right. Now, is there a time that a business might actually sell a product for less than the cost of goods? Is there some reason why somebody might do that? So somebody you said loss leader, closeout. So closeout would be you've got some inventory you want to get rid of. Maybe it's the end of the day, it's going to spoil or something. You want to get rid of it. Yep. A loss leader would be is a term used to describe when you sell a product at a very low cost to get the customer into the store with the hope that they're going to buy some other things that will actually make you profitable. So yes, there are reasons why we would typically sell a product for lower than COGS, but it's very rare, right? You have to do it strategically. I can tell you from having millions of students use my products over the years, a lot of students don't know what COGS is, don't understand it, and they set their product too low. And I've seen it happen from middle school students to MBA program. And they wonder, why can't I make money? And it's because they come in with a preconceived notion of what price should be. So I buy tacos for $2.50, and therefore that's what I think I should sell them for. No, we have to understand our consumer psychographics. What do our customers want? What are they willing to pay? Can we deliver the best match of price and product and quality? Um, what are our costs to operate? So this is one of the most common mistakes that students will make is they don't price properly and they don't understand COGS. And Costco hot dogs are a good example. I think Costco, still makes some money on those hot dogs, by the way. Um, but it is they do consider it, I think, a loss leader strategy style. Now you notice that there's a selling price already, $4, $4, and $2. We can actually change the selling price. But let's go ahead, before we do that, let's go ahead and buy some inventory. So we have to buy tortillas, beef and vegetables and beans. We can buy our beverages and serving containers. So to sell these products, we have to have all the inventory, all the inventory in. Now, to buy inventory, we have three different suppliers to choose from. We have low, which is low prices, satisfactory quality. This is where we're buying our ingredients from. We have Value Mart. your best value supplier for price and quality. So they're a balance of price and quality. And then we have all good, premium quality and prices. So consider this. I'm running a taco business. There's different ways I can run a taco business. If you're playing this with your students and you have 10, 20, 30 students in your class, they all have their different expectations of what their taco business might be. Somebody might want to might run a fine dining taco business, right? Where someone else might want to run a low cost, quick serve taco business. Senior management team, please tell me what kind of taco business you think we should run. Should we be low price, lower quality? And low quality doesn't mean bad quality, it just means lower quality. Should we be in the middle or at the top? So what you can do is you can tell me which supplier to buy from, and that will tell me the answer. All good, Value Mart, or low, low. All right, so we got Value Mart. Oh boy, look at you guys. You guys are into the value. Look at this. Okay, interesting. This is interesting. All good. Okay, we got one outlier here. That's true. Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna go with the majority on this one, and I'm gonna buy from low low. Don't say I'm not a man of the people. Don't say I'm not a man of the people here. All right, so let's go ahead and choose low low. And here we can see the actual prices. By the way, I can actually switch between the different suppliers and see how the prices differ. So even though we might choose low low now, we might take some time later to take a deeper dive and understand the numbers a little bit more. So basically, low low is about 60% of the quality of all good. All good is the best quality, 100%. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys picked Value Mart. Oh, you know what? I was totally off there. Sorry. Value Mart. Thanks for pointing that out. Somebody's going to get a raise. Is that Chrissy? Chrissy, you're getting a raise after this. You guys take a cue from Chrissy here. Although it's good that I'm a kind and benevolent CEO who listens to his management team. Some CEOs might have looked at Chrissy's comments and say, "Oh my gosh, what? You're trying to prove me wrong? You're pointing out my mistakes? Chrissy, you're fired." So think about that too, is that I'm actually getting to experience that as a leader as well. And how do I, if you ever have your students collaborate or maybe play in teams, is you can see how someone responds to leadership. Somebody pointed out I made a mistake and I was happy about that, but not all leaders are necessarily going to act that way. And these are concepts that are really difficult to teach if students are not in the context of a real experience like this. All right, so Value Mart is where it's at. And now we're going to choose some quantity. So we can choose, let's see, 40, 100, 200 each. So each one of these is a serving. So I can choose 40, and I'm going to get a discount, by the way. I can buy less than that. But if I go with the numbers I see here, I get a discount. So I can buy 40, 100, or 200 servings. What do you guys think we should do? How many servings do you think we should start the business with? 40, 100, 200? What do you guys think? 100, 100, 75. Okay. We still get a discount with 75, 100. Okay. So let's say I chose 40. What is the drawback of choosing 40? What will be the risk of choosing 40? Right. So the discount is smaller, yes. We might not have enough, so we might get a lot of customers and then run out of product, which can happen. What's the risk of having too much inventory? What if 100 is too much? What's the problem there? Keeping in mind we're running a food business here. And notice that there's a column here called shelf life. Waste, right. Shelf life only 7 days. That's right. Food goes bad. Yeah. This is one of the things that makes running a restaurant or food business really difficult is the shelf life of your product, and having to forecast and predict how much ingredients you need. So you're all right about this. So let's go ahead and choose 100 since that's what you guys mostly recommended. I'm going to choose 100 for everything just to keep it simple. And I'm going to buy it now. By the way, it's going to cost us $264. So let's go ahead and buy it. We have enough money. Now, the inventory arrived immediately in this simulation. If we were playing the full business, the next level up, it would actually take several days to arrive, and we actually have different shipping options to choose. It adds another level of complexity to the experience, and you have to plan ahead so you don't run out. This one's a little bit simpler. So we now have our inventory. We can go and look at our inventory over here. Everything's arrived. And by the way, our smartphone just popped up, and it's going to run day by day. We still have $2,000 of cash left from our seed financing, and we're ready to go here. So let's take a look at some other things we have here. We have employees. Now, we actually do not have employees at the moment. It's just us working. So we're doing everything, which is common in a small business. We'll be able to hire employees later. Now, we may not be able to hire them today because we have to actually play 10 simulation days before we can unlock the employee module. We do that on purpose just to reduce the complexity for students at the beginning. But that's another element that we'll have to consider. Marketing. Now, this is our first day in business. We have no data to go by. Do you guys think we should spend money on marketing on the first day of business? And by the way, this is not a franchise business where everybody already knows us. We're new. No one knows anything about us. What do you guys think? Should we spend money on marketing? Okay, so lots of people are saying yes. So I'm a bit of a risk-averse CEO, which is not really true in my real life, but I am right now. Um, and I'm not going to buy marketing. I'll tell you why. And we see this mistake that students make as well, is they'll spend a lot of their money on marketing right at the beginning before they figured out the profitability of their business. We're not a brand name. We're not a McDonald's and so on, where it's predictable. What we're creating is predictable. The customers know what we are, our profitability, all the numbers are all predictable. We're a brand new business. We have no idea. We have no history. And so it's actually better to be a little cautious. Now, of course, we do have to do some promotion to get some people in, but in the real world. But in this business, I know I'm going to get foot traffic anyway. So I'm not going to spend money on marketing because I want to make sure my business is profitable. I figured out the profitability before I did that. All right, enough talk. Let's open for business. Oh, by the way, so now to open for business, I have to make one decision, and that is what are the hours in which I will be open today? What are the hours in which I will be open today? So you tell me what times should we open? The default is 9 to 5, but it doesn't have to be 9 to 5. What do you guys think? And by the way, I'm going to go into my reports here, and I'm going to bring up that report we had earlier. We are in the shopping center, which is the dark blue, which is this one here, this line here. What do you guys think? 11 to 5. Okay. So this line goes up, or I start going up really around 10, 11 a.m., and it drops off the cliff around 9, 10 p.m. 11 to 7, 10 to 8. All right. You guys are good. You guys are good here. I got an experienced bunch. 11 to 9. I like that. By the way, 11 to 9. How many hours of work is 11 to 9? How many hours of work is 11 to 9? Tell me in the chat. How many hours of work is 11 to 9? 10 hours. How do you guys feel about 10 hours of work on your feet, prepping and cleaning and plus prep and clean? Yes, exactly. Well, since I'm the one working, I'll take the hit for our team and I will work the 10 hours. I will work those 10 hours. All right, let's go ahead and open for business. I have to click this button. Now, when I click this button, we're going to see customers coming. Let's do that. Now, I don't know if you can hear this, but there's sound and music. Here's all the customers coming. This is our customer feedback, real-time customer feedback. A lot of smiley faces there. What do you guys think about that? Notice there's some icons, colorful icons to the right and to the left of the faces. Those icons are positive feedback and negative feedback. Positive feedback is on the right. Negative feedback is on the left. The little purple clock on the left is speed of service. The green icon on the right is good price. They like our price. The red X's that we're seeing right now, lost customers. Lost customers. All right, that's the end of our day. Here are the results. There were more positives early in the day. That's right. Customers served 33. Customers lost 50. Products sold 58. So some people are buying a taco and a drink, so they're buying more than one product. Sales revenue $216, cost of goods sold $99, gross profit is $116.95, gross profit margin 54%, and we had some beans and beverages spoil or get damaged during the process. Not too much damage, that's good. So gross profit. What's the problem with gross profit? It's a good number to know, but what's the problem with gross profit? What's another term metric that we should be considering? You guys know? Begins with the letter N. Net. Yes, net profit. Net profit. The problem with gross profit, it's a good number to know, but the problem with gross profit, it doesn't include all of your expenses. It only includes the costs of the product that we serve to the customer. So that we've collected $216 from the customer, and the product we serve them cost us $99. So we have a positive gross profit. That's good. But what about our rent, our damaged or spoiled goods? All the other things that we have to deal with are not accounted for in gross profit. And so that's where our net profit comes in. Elizabeth, there's a chat message about the recording running out. I'm not sure if there's anything you can do about that, but I just wanted to make sure you
No,
saw
that's
that.
not for the video recording. That's
Ah,
somebody's AI
oh,
transcriber.
okay.
So we're
Very good.
okay. We're
We're
good.
good. All right. Okay, so that's the gross profit margin. Now, where are we going to find net profit? Well, I'll show you that in a moment. So let's go ahead and close this. Now, one of the things we should do now is evaluate what happened that day. So we saw a summary there, but we can take a deeper dive. Let's go ahead and look at some things here. Notice I didn't change the price of our products. I left them at the default. Also, if we look at our inventory, we actually have lots of inventory except for one thing. Do you guys see what's missing there? Can you guys read that? There's something that's zero. Serving containers. So we actually ran out of serving containers, and we can't put maybe a taco you might put in someone's hands, but the simulation, just to keep things basic, can't serve customers if you don't have one of the ingredients. In this case, serving containers. That's probably why we lost a lot of customers. But I'm going to go to the reports area, and I'm going to go to customer feedback. So earlier we were seeing the feedback in real time as it was happening. Here we can actually see the historical feedback. So negative feedback, red, positive feedback, green. Let's look at positives first, okay? So positives, we got 31 positive responses on our price. 31 of those customers, which is a lot, almost all of them, said they liked our price. What do you think we should consider as managers of this business when we get 31 people telling us that they like our price? Almost all of our customers telling us we have a good price. What do you guys think we should take away from that? Put it in the chat there, senior management team. Keep the same prices. They appreciate the products. Do not change the price. Anything else? Oh, there we go. Suzanne, you might be up for the next promotion here. You might be up for the next promotion. Test a higher price. Yes, you guys are onto it now. We may be underpriced. Be underpriced. In fact, we don't even know if we've made money yet. We know our gross profit was good. We don't even know if our net profit was good. We may actually be losing money at that price. If we're losing money, for sure we got to raise our prices. But even if we're making money, we can make more by raising our prices. Now, how much should we raise our price? The answer there is no clear answer. If you raise them too high, you lose more customers, right? It's a typical balance, and there's no perfect answers. That's the other power of simulation-based learning is we can experiment, no risk, right? No real risk. We can experiment with different things. And a simulation like this is not necessarily trying to teach a student that the right price for a taco is $3.20. What we're trying to teach the student is what they have to consider when they're setting a price, how to test pricing, how to make decisions using evidence and data. That's what the power of a simulation like this is. It's not to forecast exactly the numbers they need to use in the real world, but to help them learn how to think and how to be successful and to deal with the failure. If we're not doing well, how to do better on that. So other things you guys are seeing is that we're getting negative feedback on service, inventory. So we ran out of inventory, so we know we're going to get negatives on that one. Capacity is not a problem. Quality, we only got two negatives on quality. I think that's pretty good. You hear the idea that, the customer is always right, but not every customer is always right, right? So if you got most of your customers who are happy with you and there might be one person who's unhappy, it doesn't mean you should change for that one unhappy customer. Maybe you should. You have to investigate and see what they're complaining about because maybe they're right and maybe they can help you improve your business, but it doesn't mean you have to be immediately reactive. You've got to consider all of the variables. And so service is pretty slow. So what do you think? How do we solve the service problem? Can you guys tell me what do you think will solve the service problem? Hire employees. Yes, that's the solution to the service problem. Training, if you increase the productivity, our personal productivity or the productivity of our employees, that can also improve service. You're exactly right. Now, in this simulation, we don't have training, but the next level up, the full business, there is actually a training component. So hiring employees is how we can solve it, but we can't hire employees for 10 days. Again, on purpose, because we want students to kind of go through this gradually. So we're going to have to deal with this on our own. So let's go back and make some decisions for the next day. So the two big decisions we have to make today is how much inventory are we going to buy? So let me ask you guys, should we buy from the same supplier, Value Mart? Yes or no? Value Mart, yes or no? Okay, so you're all saying yes. By the way, one of the things I didn't do, which I should have done before we continue, is we haven't looked to see if we made money. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at our income statement. What's an income statement, you ask, as a student? Well, an income statement is money received minus money paid, and that's the difference. And by the way, there are supplemental videos and other resources that will um, explain to students what an income statement is, what gross profit, what net profit, everything they want to know. There are resources included in the simulation that I can access that will tell me that. But if we look at our income statement, which will actually show our profitability, there's our total revenue, $216. Our gross profit, we already know, and our expenses, we have very few expenses because we don't have our rent in there yet. We're going to pay our rent at the end of the month. So it shows that we've actually made money, but we really won't know for sure until we've paid a little bit of rent. So we got to wait. I think maybe we might pay it weekly here. So we're going to have to wait until we pay that rent a little bit to see if we've made money. But it's looking a little close. $100 is not great for 10 hours of work, right? If that was clear profit, $100, 10 hours work, that's $11 an hour. Um, if we end up having to hire an employee and pay them, it's going to be kind of difficult. So I think we're cutting the line a little bit here. We're a little bit close. Let's go back to our inventory. And what we're going to do now is we're going to order inventory. You guys told me Value Mart. How much inventory should we buy? 100, 200 servings? What do you think? 200 servings, do you think? We ran out. Actually, let's take a look. What do we have in inventory? So we bought 100. We didn't sell a lot of beef, but we did run out of containers. So we got to buy a lot more containers, I think. So let's go ahead and buy 100 of everything. Let's go ahead and do that. Value Mart, 100, 100, 100, and 200 serving containers. Let's do that. All right. So let's buy it. And we got enough money. 2,000 is going to cost us less than 300. All right. Prices. Who wants to raise our prices? Who wants to raise our prices? Anybody? If you want to keep them the same, type in same. Okay, lots of raises. Same. Raise, raise. Okay, I think it's worth testing, raising the prices. That's the benefit of a simulation. Let's test it. So tacos are $4. Do you think we should raise everything by $1? What do you guys think? $1? Higher? Yes, higher or lower? $1? Raise everything by $1? Raise everything by $5? Or you mean to set the price to $5? All right, let me set everything. Let's raise everything by $1. Not okay, tacos and nachos at 5. Okay, let's do that. And the drink, 3. Is that pushing it? Let's go $2.90 just to get that extra 10 cents. The psychology of the 10-cent in there. All right, so we've set our price. $3 is good. Okay. We've set our prices a little higher. We got more inventory. Let's go ahead and open for business. Should we work the same hours, 11 to 9? You guys going to put me up for 10 hours again today? How's my health doing? How's my health doing here? Okay, it's still okay so far. 11 to 6. Somebody's taking mercy on me. The sales times were typically the traffic. We don't necessarily have a time of every sale. No, not in every individual sale. All right, 11 day. Let's do that. Give me an extra hour off. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to do that. All right, so let's go ahead and open for business, see what happens. All right, customers are coming. Thank you for the break. All right, sales are coming. Ding, ding, ding. Purple clocks to the left. Purple clocks to the left means slow service. Slow service. Oh my gosh, am I running out of something again? Oh, maybe, the excess could be price. Could be somebody not happy with price. Lots of dings. Lots of ding sales. I like it. Very little negative feedback. Oh, somebody doesn't like our price. That's okay. It's just one person. Although one person might be the only person who spoke up. Other people might not like it and never say anything. Lots of slow service. It's 7 o'clock. I'm getting pretty tired on my feet here. Fingers are getting tired rolling those tacos. Lots of slow service. All right, day two. Day two. Not bad. Yes, we did much better on gross profit. More customers served, fewer customers lost, but we still lost a lot of customers. Now, again, that's probably mostly service, so there's not much we can do about it yet. So we're going to focus the next number of days on making sure we maximize our profitability before we hire employees because they're going to cost us a lot of money. Products sold, 75. Sales revenue's up. Cost of goods is okay. Gross profit is good. So it's looking better now. Like we made 111 yesterday, and now we've doubled our profitability. How do you guys feel about that doubling of profitability? We did it by having more inventory, although notice we've got more damaged and spoiled because we have more leftover inventory, and we increased our prices. Let's take a look at our reports, our income statement. See now, our total profit now, $330. My hourly rate's getting better here. I like the direction of this business is going. All right, let's look at our customers served and lost. Yep. This will show us why we lost our customers more specifically. So on day 2, we lost 21 customers due to service, 4 customers due to price. Okay, so day one, we lost one customer due to price. Day two, we lost four, but we still served 43. So how do you guys feel about our price increase? If we've lost four customers versus one, are we still good, comfortable with our price increase? Or are we like, oh my gosh, we lost four customers. We've got to go back and lower our price. What do you guys think? Still good? Yeah, comfortable. I think you guys are giving me good advice here. I like it. Now, should we raise our prices even more? Maybe we can still keep going. What do you think? Should we raise them more? No? Do you want to experiment? Extra 50 cents, extra buck? What do you think? Oh, you're thinking about it. You're thinking about it. That's true. We can't provide good service. So you're wondering, if we raise our prices now when we can't provide good service, maybe it's not a good time, right? Suzanne may be thinking, let's wait until we hire employees, get our service in order, then we can raise our prices. Is that what you're thinking, Suzanne? And you're getting some support from Chrissy. Aren't you the two I was going to promote and give you raises already? I can see this is working. I made a good decision there, I think. Did you see that? I made good decisions there. All right. Do the day go by a weekday or weekends? There will be weekends. Yes, there will be weekends. We can take days off too, work lower hours or no hours, and help me improve my health. Let's do another day. Let's do another day. Oh, we're at 45 minutes. Wow, the day's almost over. Let's do one more quick day. Order inventory, value mart. Oh, let's take a what's our inventory levels at? Oh, we got a lot of inventory. Running out of tortillas though. Serving containers. So let's buy tortillas, serving containers, and vegetables. Right quick. Let's do this right quick. Tortillas, serving containers, and vegetables. There we go. Let's buy it. Prices, should we raise them? What do you think? Let's go. Let's do it. That's 50 cents. Why not? Let's experiment. Come on, this is risk-free. This is a simulation, people. It's not real. That's the benefit of this. All right, 3:30. All right, we're raising our prices. I'm making an executive decision here. All right, let's go close that. I'll keep the same hours and open for business. All right, here we go. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Somebody doesn't like our price. Somebody else doesn't like our price. Oh, something's, yeah, you know what? Not only are they not liking our prices, but they're choosing not to buy. Again, just because one or two customers doesn't buy from you, every business is going to have a customer who doesn't like the price, they don't like something. So we got to really think about the decisions we're making and not overly react to things like that. So notice we're not getting any positive feedback. I mean, the customers are reasonably happy. We're not getting the big smiley faces, so they're not super happy. Um, we're not getting any positives. It doesn't necessarily mean we're doing bad. It's just they're not compelled to tell us how amazing our price is or how amazing our quality is. We could increase our quality and keep our prices the same, but what's going to happen if we do that? If we increase our quality and keep our prices the same, what's going to happen? What do you guys think? Oh, look at there's our day. Customer served 40, so a few less than last time than yesterday. Same number of customers lost about. Products sold, a lot more products sold there. That's good. Another good day. So today was similar to the day before. Oh, look, lots of vegetables spoiled. So we got a lot of vegetables. All right, so let's see. Let's take a look at our reports, customer feedback. So now we have 8 people who don't like our price versus 4, but we still serve 40, still serve 40. But it looks like we're starting to find that line of price, I think, right? Don't you feel that way? If 8 customers out of 48 are telling us the price is high, we're starting to find that level. Based on the quality we're at, right? Based on the quality, we could increase our quality, which would then allow us to increase our price, but that's something we could experiment with. Let's take a look at some of the other reports that we have. So we can look at our income statement again. We're $500 in profit. It's looking okay. Here's a balance sheet, which tells us how much value we're building in our business, our assets minus our liabilities and our equity that we're building. That's a concept that a lot of students don't understand balance sheet, but they'll understand it once they play this and watch some of the resources that we have available. You'll also see reports here for general ledger, general journal. This program is actually used for accounting, for teaching accounting. We're on Thursday, by the way. You can see it on our smartphone right up here. And if you're wondering, as an instructor, how do I assess students who are playing this? We have what's called a performance report. It's a real-time report that assesses them on their participation, meaning are they doing the work that you've asked them to do? And then we have a skill score, which is a holistic measurement of all of the metrics that make a business successful. So we've got profit, revenue, profit margin, health, customer serve, customer satisfaction, marketing, inventory, and so on. And so we actually get a skill score based on that. My skill score currently is 58%, which is not bad because we're just starting out. Taco Tuesday, yeah, that's a great incentive we got to do on Tuesday. So 58% is not bad because we haven't done any marketing yet. We haven't been able to hire employees. So we'll be able to get that skill score up as we continue to play. So there's more we could do in the simulation from the marketing and the finance and the accounting, but I think that's enough because I don't want to overwhelm you today. I'm going to switch back to my slides here and I'm going to show you what we've experienced. So we played this for about half an hour or so and look at everything that we've experienced in business. Now consider any other learning experience, reading a book, watching a video, sitting through a lecture, going on a field trip. What other experience could ever allow you to touch on all of these things in such a short period of time? And then allow me to actually experiment with all these things. This is the power of experiential learning through games and simulations. These are a variety of the benefits that are available through simulation-based learning. And I can share these slides with you, by the way, if you need these. All sorts of benefits that you just cannot achieve with other learning methods. It's just impossible to do. And here's the cool thing. What we've just done here together, you can do this too. And you can do it for free. I'm going to show you how. So the first is we have our lemonade stand. We have a light version of our lemonade stand game at this website, which is freelemonadestandgame.com. And you can play a lemonade stand simulation with your students. There's no logins or anything required. It allows you to play for 10 simulation days, and it's free to play. GoVenture Entrepreneur, the program we just played, all 3 levels. There's a free trial on our website. You can see that here. If you want the full access to the entire program and everything that's included, you can get it on Yippee for 285 points for your entire class. If you're not on Yippee, you can go to our website and buy it. You have to use real cash, unfortunately, to buy it from us. So go to Yippee first if you can. Use those points. Yippee is the most amazing website I've ever seen. I've written about it, why I believe that, and you should definitely take advantage of it. Board games. So if you like this concept of experiential learning, but maybe technology is not what you want to do, you can do the same thing with a board game. And we have business board games, food truck entrepreneur, lemonade stand board games. We have a board game that helps you design your own board games. Also, all on Yippee. You can get all of this on Yippee or through GoVenture.net. And then finally, we have a teacher community. I host a teacher community at teachingsuperhero.com. If you sign up, it's free. You get all sorts of free resources. And you also get in a community, there's about over 500 teachers that are part of that community. I also write a newsletter about experiential learning. It goes out to about 6,000 educators around the world. It's all free. You can join there. All right, so let me go back to the top slide. If you need to contact me, there's my contact info. And I'm happy to answer any questions in our last few minutes that we have. And Elizabeth, if you need to jump in on anything, please do so.
If I can unmute myself. First of all, amazing. That time flew by. I think that was really great for everyone to see all the different components of the game. And I can share the slides when I share the recording with everybody. I want to definitely point out that for coming here today, you get 200 points on Yippee. So this product only costs 285. So with the points that you get for signing up on Yippee or points that you've already accumulated, and then 200 from today, you're set. So I did want to mention that. And I'll put the code here in the chat, but I will also send that when I send the slides and recording.
Awesome. And I did actually just post the slides in the chat as
Oh,
well, just
perfect.
in case anybody doesn't get it another way. So there, it's right in there. And if you have any questions for me or Elizabeth, please post them in the chat. Somebody asked, how long is the access when you get the full product? It's 1 year. And with the Yippee default, it's 15 student accounts, but you can reassign student accounts to new students. So, and you can team up students if you had sat them together as well. So there's various ways you could accommodate dozens and dozens of students during the year. You can also have other instructors in your class because you can reassign students. You as an instructor maybe might use it in the first semester, and then a different instructor could use it with their students in the second semester. So it was very flexible.
Okay.
Is
Are
there
there
anything
any
I didn't
questions?
cover?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything I different didn't cover that you were hoping that we would cover today?
All right. Well, if anyone emails me with anything, I'll pass it along to you. They have your contact information too. So thank you, Matthew, for joining us and showing us all this. And thank you, everybody, for joining and being part of this business together.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Yeah. Thank you.